Good day. Today is Tuesday, 24th of June, 2025. And first of all, I'd like to apologize for missing 2 days from the program, from the daily programs, because we've been really hard at work on a new update and I missed those uploads. So it has been very, very hectic. And I'm trying my best um, to provide you with daily content. So, in light of this, what we're going to do in the next couple of programs, because we're still working really hard on this update, is I'll be showcasing some of the old videos from Professor where he answers some questions or does some certain topics. Also, there's like a webinar recording, so I'll be uh, preparing them into segments and providing them for you. Additionally, there is a case study coming up this week as well. This week as well, there's going to be a case study, and it should have been sent out today. So I'll do a review, like an overview of that, sometime this week too. Also, another one would be to do the actual overview of the new changes that are coming to the platform. From the coach's perspective, I hope you really enjoy them. In any case, I hope to see you tomorrow once again and enjoy the video by Professor.
Business, competition, and corruption. Now, competition and corruption are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other, and that extends beyond the realm of business. You cannot be competitive in your own life without also experiencing some level of corruption. Now, that corruption is not necessarily in relation to others, but it will be in relation to your own self. So, important human qualities like empathy, like patience, like kindness, are going to start to get corrupted inside you once you become competitive. Specifically in relation to business, many people cannot even imagine the possibility of doing business without being competitive. I mean, these two for them are pretty much doing business means being competitive. They cannot fathom any other possibility. And I'd like to say a few things about the slippery slope that competition is in the world of business from a psychological perspective. And I think the effects of competition in business can be generally grouped under three broad stages. So stage one, a business and a businessman or businesswoman becomes very competitive because they see and they understand that there's going to be an advantage. Okay, and that advantage can be short term or medium term. It can even be long term, but it requires huge psychological sacrifice. So you might have experienced, you will have certainly read about, and you might have experienced yourself the hard-heartedness of being competitive in business. That's stage one, being heartless, uncaring, unloving, just, doing what needs to be done because it's only business. So, some of you might even have, as I said, personal experience. You might have worked for a company for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. One day you called in and you say, they tell you, sorry, Joe, or sorry, Lisa, uh, you've been here for like 10 years, but, I'm afraid it's just business. Business is business. We're going to have to let you go. In a very uncaring, very unloving kind of attitude. Sometimes it can even happen by text message. Now, as I said, that will give the business, if it's done correctly, quote unquote correctly, it will give the business some kind of advantage. But in many cases, it will simply not be sufficient. Okay, so therefore, they need to gear up. You go into a second stage of competitiveness, which is to act unethically. So these are all the dark side of personality behaviors or the dark traits. You might have read about these things. You might have experienced them again. And here we have people starting to behave downright unethically. Self-promotion at the expense of a company, lying, undermining the colleagues, and again, that can give you some kind of personal advantage for a while, or even company-wide advantage if the whole company is engaged in such behaviors. And again, it may not be sufficient, and by that point, some people have got the idea that why don't I gear it up again? I've been cutthroat, then I've moved on to being unethical, and I am getting ahead. So why don't I up the ante? And the third stage is to begin acting illegally. So you start breaking the law, and there's so many different examples of such behaviors in business internationally. So these are the three stages of competitiveness in relation to inner and outer corruption. Because outer corruption, when I am corrupt in relation to others, simply reflects inner corruption that's been there for quite some time and was left unchecked. So an important question, I guess, is it possible to engage in successful business without being competitive? Can I do business without being competitive? Or if I have this competitive streak inside me, can I direct this competition to my lower self? To all these qualities inside me that are not what they're supposed to be. Like things like, for example, like avarice or fear, despondency. Can I be competitive in relation to these qualities rather than being outwardly competitive in relation to other people or other businesses or other organizations and still be successful, very successful in business? Is this possible? My answer to this question is absolutely. But that has to be a topic for a different video. So until then, thank you all very much and be blessed.